YouTube. So I got a new one in. Actually, I got it last week. The Camillus bushcrafter. Not really going to do any testing. I'm just going to kind of compare it against a Mora companion. So let me get some of this wood and shit out of the way. This is kind of my little testing stump. Guess I wasn't very prepared at all to start this video, was I? So, Mora companion, Camillus bushcrafter, nessmuk design versus the puukko design. Both of them are tried and tested and very good at just about any sort of bushcrafting test or tasks you can throw at them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not some crazy skilled bushcrafter. You know, they can go live out in the woods with a Mora for a month. But I do like, I do like to do, small amounts of bushcrafting. And I figured I've only got one bushcraft style knife, which is the Mora. I've been using this one for probably a year and a half. You see, it's got a good patina on it. That's just a straight mustard patina. On focus. Nice candy grind on it. I actually just recently stropped it, so that's why it looks like there's a secondary bevel on it. But I assure you, it's one. There you go. It's one straight plane all the way to the edge. Which brings me to the Camillus. When you buy it brand new, it comes with a secondary bevel. It cut decently, but it didn't cut like a Scandi grind does. So I did some grinding work with the work sharp. I didn't put it to a belt sander or anything. But after somewhat reprofiling it, I mean it cuts like a real good Scandi grind. It's full tang, 1095. I'm not sure of the thickness. It's around 1/8 of an inch. Nice micarta handle scales. There it's focused in now. Nice micarta handle scales. The hardware is recessed into the handles, so you don't even feel it. You can't feel any sort of transition between handle scale to steel to handle scale. Real comfortable in the hand. I mean, I have a medium-sized hand, and it feels great in the hand. And with that belly on it, I mean, it wants to cut. It wants to slice. So I imagine that this would work great for any sort of skinning or animal processing tasks that you might have. I can't imagine it would work too well for, filleting a fish or anything. Whereas the puukko style, it's got a very thin blade. I say very thin, but it's for as thin as this blade is, it is out fucking standing. I mean, I have beat the hell out of this thing. And I just to see how hard I could be on it, I've batoned stuff that was I had that much sticking out the other side of the wood. Like I said, just to see how mean I could be to it, and it took everything and just kept on trucking. So for the sheath, really, really nice leather. Super thick, sturdy. Holds the blade very well. Rides in deep. I mean, it's definitely not coming out of there. Good leather. What I do like is that the leather is tough enough. I actually strop the blade, and you can see from there, to about here, kind of see the discoloration from there to here, where I've actually used this as a strop, and believe it or not, it does excellent. Thought that was kind of cool. I can't remember who I saw actually do that for the first time, but I was like, man, that's a pretty damn good idea. So I gave it a try, and after regrinding the edge on this with the work sharp, it works excellent. Come on, get out of there. Yeah, 90-degree spine, straight out of the box. Didn't have to do any work to it. The Mora, yeah, did have to put a 90-degree spine on it, but I think that's kind of par for course with the Moras outside of maybe the Bushcraft Black and the Garberg. Which I think the Garberg is going to have to eventually. It's going to have to go into the collection sometime, but it's just I can't bring myself to spend $100 on that knife. So maybe in a year or two if it goes down. Obviously, the sheath. No one likes the Mora companion sheath. They're okay. They're functional. You see, I had to melt that one, or I didn't have to melt it, but I got it hot on both sides so it would retain the knife. Because after a while, it loses about all retention. Now I've got it to where it stays in there pretty decent. So yeah, looking forward to spring and summer so I can get out and maybe do a test video. It's typical Illinois weather. It's, well, my last two videos, well, not my last video, but the video before the last, it was snowing. So my last video, it was 60 degrees when I was cooking the ribs. This all week, it's been high to mid 60s. And this weekend, it's supposed to get back down into the 30s. So who knows when I'll be able to get out and do do a test video on the two of these. But I definitely plan on doing a test video to show how well one cuts compared to the other. I will tell you straight off the bat, in my opinion, I think that the Mora knife cuts better, but I have more faith in the Camillus bushcrafter. Just because it's a small tank. When you hold it in your hand, it's a small tank of a blade. So yeah, I guess that's the nessmuk versus the puukko style. Let me know what you guys think. Have a good one.